What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch back here with another NFL record prediction for the 2020 NFL regular season. In this video, I'm going to dive into my New England Patriots and give you my record prediction for the Pats in 2020. Of course, this season, the first season without Tom Brady in a long time. So let's see how I think they're going to do versus their schedule, because this one is tough. Like, this is no easy Patriots schedule that everybody pretends that they have every year. Let's dive into it. But before I dive into the Patriots schedule for 2020, make sure that you do Gronk spike that like button and subscribe to the Bottom Line View for more NFL videos just like this. Comment below your opinion, Patriot fans. Let me know what you think the Pats record will be the first season without Tommy in 2020. All right, so as you can see, I have them splitting with their division across the board, 3-3. That starts off with week number 1 versus the Miami Dolphins at home. They typically dominate the Dolphins at home, as you know, and I think they will win this game. I don't think it will be domination, but I think it will be a tight defensive ball game that they pull out. Plus, you have to factor in, this is revenge factor here. Week 17 was at home, right? They lost that game. They were supposed to get the bye week. They lost that game. They want revenge. Belichick will let them know that, and Belichick will come out steaming versus Brian Flores in week 1. Now, week 2, they go to Seattle, which, man, that's really hard for Jarrett Stidham's first road game. He has to go to Seattle. And if you're a Patriots fan, I'm not saying you're hoping there's no crowd, but for this game, you're hoping there's no fans in the stadium. Because if there is, the chances of winning this game drastically go down. I was at the game in 2012 when they played in Seattle, and that was the beginning of Legion of Boom and Russell Wilson and all that. And that game was so loud and so crazy, and New England ended up losing that game. So yeah, I think Seattle's winning. I just think Russell Wilson and what he's able to do, and the Seahawks, just great coach team, well-schooled, very well-disciplined. They'll be able to beat Jarrett Stidham in his first road game, unfortunately. Then you have week 3 versus the Vegas Raiders at home. I think the Patriots win this game. I like Vegas this year. I think they're a decent team. I think where New England could fall in a trap here is if they do allow a lot of rushing yards, and if Vegas is able to control the line of scrimmage versus New England, then they'll fall into a really tough game to win, because the Raiders can really run the ball and they can really block up front. But I do think New England and McDaniels can find a way to beat this defense that I still think is very susceptible in the passing game. I would call this to be Jarrett Stidham's kind of breakout game early in the year heading into Kansas City, is this game at home versus the Raiders. So look at that one, circle that one, star it, whatever you need to do, but that's a big game for Jarrett Stidham. Week 4, New England at Kansas City. As much as I want to say New England is going to upset the Chiefs, because they're actually a really good matchup for the Chiefs in the way the Chiefs want to play, because the Patriots have a defense that's just made to play the Chiefs, but I just don't think they have enough offense this year right now, at least projecting. I don't think they have enough offense to keep up with Mahomes, even if they play amazing defense. If this was in New England, I'd say maybe they could pull off the upset, but because it's in Arrowhead, I'm going to give it to the Chiefs. Then you play the Broncos at home. I think the Broncos on the road are a lot different than the Broncos at home. As Patriots fans know, this has been one of the toughest teams for Tom Brady to defeat in his career. I think the only team he has a losing record versus. So in week 5, I think Drew Lock coming to New England, that's going to be tough for him. I think Belichick, game plan-wise, is going to be able to win this game. It's going to be difficult to block Von Miller and to block Chubb and all those guys up front, but I think New England has enough, and I think they can run the ball a little bit, pass the ball a little bit, just enough. They'll win something like 2013, cause a couple of mistakes to Drew Lock, have a couple special teams plays, win this game. Then you go in the bye week. You are 3-2 at this point, I believe, and then you play San Francisco at home. This game, I think, is a lot more winnable than I think people will suggest, because I think San Francisco, although they're a good team, I think New England versus Jimmy Garoppolo is going to want to prove something, and it's at home. Remember, this is at home. New England's great at home. And I think when you look at what San Francisco does defensively, I think New England has always been amazing versus these cover 3 press bail teams. but that was with Tom Brady. So I don't know what to expect with Jarrett Stidham in that regard. San Francisco, I think, is able to run the ball enough offensively to be able to win this one and squeak it out. I think this game's actually going to be really close, and I wouldn't be surprised if it came down the wire. But I'm going to pick San Francisco. I just think they're the overall more talented team. Even on the road with Kyle Shanahan, it's going to be a great chess match between the two coaches, but I have San Francisco. Then I have them losing 3 in a row, which is unfortunate. Maybe they beat the Jets. I can see them sweeping the Jets, but I can't see them sweeping the Bills. Then they play Baltimore in Week 10. Ooh, buddy, I don't know about this one. They play Lamar Jackson. It's in New England, though, so they have a shot. Let me get back to that one. I actually don't think 100% they're going to lose that game, 100%. Then you go Week 11. They're going to get their revenge versus Houston. I know it's in Houston, but I think Houston's just not good this year. Their defense is going to be very suspect. And even though they have Deshaun Watson, I think New England can match up, especially without DeAndre Hopkins there. So I think New England's defense has a huge game versus Watson and gets their revenge and wins that game in Week 11 on the road. Then they host Kyler Murray, which won't be an easy game to win. They could easily lose this game, but because they're at home, I'll give them the win there. Kyler and mobile quarterbacks, as you guys know, are difficult matchups for New England because of the unpredictable factor, and Belichick can't really scheme. But I don't think Arizona has the defense for me to necessarily say that they can go to New England and win. Then New England goes to LA twice in a row. I think that New England wins both games in a row, and I think they're looking really good after 4 straight wins going into December, and then we're starting to talk, hey, is this New England team for real? Are they going to make the playoffs? Are they going to do something here? So really watch out for this. Watch out for New England at this point in the schedule. I think that they end up losing to Buffalo that's Week 18. What is this website doing? Anyways, I think New England finishes the season strong, as you can see. I think they lose in Miami because they always lose in Miami. You guys know that to be a fact. Week 16, they play Buffalo at home. I think they'll beat Buffalo once this year. I think it most likely is going to be at home. Plus, that's on Monday night. Monday night, home dog. I'm taking New England. 17, they're going to beat the Jets at least once this year. I can't say they're going to get swept by the Jets for sure. So looking at 9-6 right now, and I'm ultimately going to say that they are 9-7 because I think the Ravens, although I don't think this game is going to be a blowout, I do think that they lose that game to Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. The main reason being I think the Ravens secondary is awesome, which will allow Baltimore to kind of load the box and take away the run. So New England, I have one spot or one win higher than I did in my record prediction video of earlier of every team. I see them going 9-7. I think this is a difficult schedule, but I actually think 9-7 might be enough to get to the playoffs in the AFC this year. There are some difficult games that maybe they lose, but I could see them going as good as 10-6 with this schedule, but I could also see them losing, probably. I could see them going as bad as 6-10. I think they're anywhere in that range. I don't think they're any better than 10-6, any worse than 6-10. That's where I have the Patriots this year for 2020. 9-7 right now is my record prediction. So Patriots fans, let me know in the comment section below what you think. Is that a realistic record? Do you think they'll do better? Do you think they'll do worse? Let me know. Gronk, spike the like button. Subscribe to the channel for more NFL. And peace.